video, we're going to be building a secure web application using what? Pure PHP, right? We're going to have the sign up page, we're going to have the login page. You know, if I come and log in into this place here, you can see I've logged in into the dashboard. So stay tuned. I'm going to be teaching you how to make sure your login is protected, your sign up is protected, and actually how you can actually build this thing from the scratch using PHP. So let's get right into the code. All right, so I have right here in my folder, you know, when you install XAMPP, you know, you have this thing called htdocs. So inside of it, I have the new folder we're going to be working with called tube, right? So this is it right here. And basically this is it. I open it here in this place here. All right, so basically if you follow the last video I dropped in the last time, I explained how you can actually use env. Stop exposing your database information inside your PHP code. Make sure you always have env. When you have env, it's always far more protected. So if you didn't watch that video, you can go back and watch that video. So let's get right into it. So what we're going to be doing right now is simple. We're going to be building some certain folders and files, right? So one of the first folders we're going to build a public folder. We're going to build a public folder. After building the public folder, we're going to build a folder called what? Includes. Then after that, that is all we need for now, right? So you can see I have my config folder. It has the index of PHP right here. Basically, you can see it right here. And I also have my env file, which is right here also. So one of the things we're going to do inside of this public folder here is we're going to create some files. So we're going to start with dashboard.php. We're going to create login.php. We're going to create logout.php. Also, we're going to create signup.php. Then also, we're going to create what? Index.php. Right here. Alright, so these are the necessary folders we need to actually do what? Create right here. And inside the includes folder, we're going to create two types of files. And we're going to have auth.php. We're going to have CSRF.php. So this is going to be a function, by the way. Right, so this is all the things we need to make sure we can have this kind of functionality right here. We can have the sign up, and we can also have the login. So let's start. All right, so let me just do a quick refresh right here. And inside of here, let me just go straight to public, and I'll just. All right, guys. So I'm going to go straight into my public right here. Public. So everywhere is kind of like blank right here. So let's start. So now I'm going to go straight into here, and inside my index of PHP, I'm just going to write my PHP tag right here. And I'm just going to put this header right here. All right, so this header here is going to have the location of what? Of login. Exactly. And I'm going to exit it from here. All right, so this is perfectly fine. So the next thing to build right now is going to be what? Our login page, right? That's the next thing to build. We're going to build our login page. But before we start building our login page, let's start with the what? Auth.php right here. Okay, let's start with that. So I'm going to come into this place right here. I'm going to do my PHP tag, and I'm going to do my session set cookie params. So I'm going to be using cookies. I don't have lifetime. I'm going to set it to 0. We're going to have path. I'm going to set it to this. I'm going to have HTTP only. I'm going to set it to what? To true. We're going to set secure. And we're going to set it to basically what? False. But if you are going to push this kind of thing on production, you need to change this into true. So please note that. So from there, I'm going to have some sites, and here I'm going to have it to be street, like that. All right. So basically, yeah, I'm going to have session here. So basically, I'm going to have session here. Session. I'm going to start my session. Got session starts. Like this. And right here, I'm going to have my function. And I'm going to create a function called require login. Just follow what I'm doing. Require login. And right here, I'm going to do a if statement, right? So I'm going to go is set. If not, is set. I'm going to do session. The user ID. Like this. I'm going to have an header. I'm going to have location, which is going to be login.php. And right here, I'm going to have the exit here. All right now, so if I've done this right now, the next thing for me to do right now is to create a guest only what function, right? I'm going to come here and say function, guest only, my bad, guest only. And instead of this guest only, I'm just going to copy what I have here just to go of time. I'm going to paste this right here. And instead of this, I'm going to set it to this one. So if this is correct, it's going to go straight to the what? To the dashboard. To the dashboard. To the dashboard like this. Let me bring this here. I'll bring this here. Alright, so this is what our auth.php is going to look like. In the episode 2 of creating a secure application in PHP, we are still going to advance this thing more better and more properly. So, but this is the first step of advancing your PHP application. So after that, I'm going to come here to this place here. So right here, I'm going to generate a token here to make sure that everywhere is more protected. So the user creates a token. All right, so okay, I'm going to have PHP. I'm going to have PHP. And I'm going to create a function. By the way, let me take away all of this VS Code that's open right here. All right, so I'm going to create a function called generate token. Generate as token. Okay, so I'm going to generate token like this. I'm going to do a if statement here. So I'm going to say if empty session, if empty session, I'm going to have this session SRF token. Like that. All right, so in this thing I'm trying to create right here, I'm creating a function, right? That's going to be generating something basically for us, right? All right, guys. So this function we're trying to create here creates a security token, then stores it inside the user session. So we're not done yet. So I'm going to say bin to this. I'm going to have random bytes. So it's going to be the byte of 2032. It's fine. And after that, I'm going to do a simple return. return the session. The token. Function to verify the token, right? Verify token. I'll copy what I have here, paste it down here. So here it's going to have a parameter token, and I'm going to do a simple return down here. So I'm saying return set session token and hash equals the token. I'm going to copy this, it's here, I'm going to place it down here, and I'm going to have token. So basically I'm generating a token, and I'm also doing what? Verifying that token. So after you've done this, right, I mean, the next thing you can now start doing is to start building your login page, right? So let's go back to the login page right here. And inside here, we're going to have PHP. I keep doing PPG. We're going to have PHP. And I'm going to do some require. So require /config /database. We're going to do require again. We're going to do includes /auth. We're going to do require includes /CSRF, right? Cross-site reverse forgery. All right, so and down here we're going to take the guest only, not that one, the guest only function that we created earlier on. And I'm going to create a variable called error equals to this. So let's begin the real logic down here, right? So let's begin the real logic down here. So let's start. So we're going to create an if statement here. We're going to call it if session request method strictly equals to posts, right? So I'm going to do if verify that token, right? So we need to actually verify that token. So I'm going to copy what I have here, verify token. So this is what you do, verify token. Inside that verify token, we have the post. And this post, we have this token. All right, so if it's an error, oh, I didn't put this here. So if it actually gives an error, we're going to have error equals to something went wrong. And we're going to have an else. And this else here, we're going to have email is equals to string. post, we have email, so I have the same thing down here. So we have login, down here we have login. So basically I need to do another if else statement again down here. So this is going to be if empty email or empty password. Sorry, this should be password. This. So right here, I'm going to do an error. So this error here is going to have something went wrong with your inputs. So let me just come back up. All right. So after that, I'm going to have after I've done this part here, I'm going to have an else here. I'm going to have an else here, and this else here, I'm going to create a statement. It's actually going to be equals to EOD. We're going to have my prepared. I'm using SQL, so here is going to be select star from users where email equals to placeholders. So the right here is a placeholder, right? So after that, I'm going to do this again. It's equal to execute, and this execute is going to be what exactly? It's going to be the email. Alright, so down here I'm going to create a user is equals to the statement dash fetch. Alright, so let's go on. Alright, so the next thing to do right now is basically now to do what? Verify the password. That's the next thing to do right now. Is to do what? Verify the password. So let's build that part now. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to do an if statement again. So here's going to be user and password verify. We're going to have the password here, and I'm going to have user having the password like that. All right, so that goes on and on. So in here, I'm going to have session regenerates ID like this. I'm going to set it to what? To true. All right, so basically after that, we need to do some things else more. So I'm going to have session user ID is equals to user ID here. I'm going to have session, which is going to be the what's the user name, which is equals to user name like this. So basically after that, I'll do an header, and this header, let me just go and copy the header I have on this place right here. So I'll copy this header I have right here, come back here, I'll place it right here, and I'm going to change this header here to dashboard. Yeah, exactly, to dashboard. And basically after that, I'm going to exit it. And else, in case an error occurred, a couple what I have here, this here. All right, so we've done the logical parts of things, right? So the next thing to do now is basically now create the what, the front page for it, right? So I'm gonna do HTML. I should go to HTML5. Yep, I did it. So I'm gonna close this guy here. All right, so I'll say login. So basically, I need to have the CDN of Tailwind CSS because basically, you can, if you see this part here, we're using Tailwind here, right? So I need to do it like that. So, and I think, if I can remember, I think it's called scripts. Yeah, I think it's called scripts. I think it's called HTTP s colon CDN, if I'm correct. I hope I'm correct. Tailwind. I think css.com. I think that's the right thing. Yeah, I should be correct. This is right. All right, so basically after that, the next thing to do right now is pretty much very, very simple. You should now do what? Create what? Start creating it now. All right, so yeah, I'm going to have class, which is this, right? So PG. Gradient. Now, form. The form is going to be blue. So this is going to be 500. $600. Flex. Items. Let's get them to the center. We'll have justify contents center. So we're gonna have mean h dash the screen. So basically after that part now, we're gonna have a div. This div is gonna have class here. So PG white. PG white. Dash 19. We're gonna have backdrop. Wall. Dash LG. Shadow. Have rounded to I'm going to have P dash full, so the width has to be full. I'm going to have max W this empty. Alright, so right here I'm going to create a h2 element. I'm going to give it a class here. So I'm going to set it to the text to Excel. Font should be bold. Text should be in the center. Text should be gray. 800 MG6. And right here, I'm going to say welcome back. H2. So let's see what we have now. Here, if I make a refresh here. Alright, undefined key. Okay, so we have a small error. So let's go and check it out. So I think our error here is okay. Instead of it's supposed to be server, right? Exactly. It's supposed to be server. Yeah, it's supposed to be server. Okay, good. Oh. Yes, like that. All right, so we are on track, right? Okay, so let's go back. So the next thing to do now is start creating the form, right? So that's basically the next thing to do right now is that we do what we create what the form, right? So beneath this H2, I'm going to be doing a short PHP code right here. PHP, I'll say if, yeah. I'm going to create the form. It's going to have the method. It's equals to post space -4 like that. All right. I'll come back to that. Okay, before I actually continue with the form, right? I want to be able to actually do what? Display the errors. So let me just quickly do that. So I have my PHP if there's error. I have my div here. Let me just have an H1 here. So I'm creating a whole div. I'm going to have special characters there, which is going to be error like this, and after that I am now going to do what? Close it. So this PHP and if. So like that. So if there's an error, it should actually do what? Display like that. Alright? So let me just format my document properly. So let's continue building our form. Right? Let's continue building our form. So we need to have the inputs. We're gonna have inputs. We're gonna have the type hidden. Name. Right. We're gonna have the value. Equals to what? Generates token. Like that. Alright. So after that, I'm going to have a div. And this is my div here. Inside of it, I'm going to have a label. And this label is going to have a class, block, text-sm, text-gray, 600 MB-1. Email, I'm going to close the label. Then in here, I'm going to have the input like this. It's going to be the type, it's email. You have the name, it's email. You have the placeholder, is this for an example. I'm going to have the class. Alright, so I'm going to have this dash full width, this px dash 4, py dash 2, border is rounded dash lg, focus outline dash none, focus again, bring to focus bring dash blue 500. Alright, so let's see what we have on our page here. Let's refresh. Okay, so we have some errors. In fact, I don't even having the blue background that I have here. We're going to fix that, right? We're going to fix that, but let's just keep going. We're going to fix that one. So what we need to do now is, let me copy what I have here. I'm going to do a place it here. So this is going to be password. I'm going to change this to password. I'm going to change this to password. Change to XXX. Like that. So after that, I'm just create a button. Yep. Create a button. The type is going to be submit. And I'm going to have a class here. Just yo bg blue dash 600 text dash white py dash 2 grounded lg over bg dash we're going to have transition, we're going to have a duration dash 200. Well, this is just Tailwind, by the way, guys, so it doesn't really matter the kind of front end that you use, by the way. Okay, guys, so after that, I'm going to have login button. So let's refresh. Okay, so we are getting there right now. So, but we have an error on line 7. So let's go and fix that error on line 7. Where's the error, Surf? Alright guys, so I found my error. So basically, if I go straight to my function here, this is my function here, cross-site request forgery function. You can see I made a mistake here. right? So it's supposed to be CSRF, like this. So let's do a refresh. So that's fine. So let's fix this blue background of the thing. Let's fix it. So basically, let's go back straight to the login here. And I think that should be around up here. So let me see what's actually causing it not to be the same thing. So I have this. Oh, okay. This is supposed to be form blue. Okay, we are now good, right? So it's just for us to just add this no account, then sign up. All right, so we're going to be stopping the video for you. So this is episode 1 of creating a secure login and sign up page with dashboard in pure PHP. So in episode 2, I'm going to be creating the sign up part of things, right? So stay tuned. And if you like this video, please subscribe, share it to your friends and family, and I'll see you guys in the next video.